Hello and welcome to this virtual information evening for Year 8. My name is Mr Hunt and I'm Head of Year 8 here at Tambridge House School. It's been so nice to welcome back the students in the last few days. To your credit, they have returned with great enthusiasm and maturity and made the very best of the situation under trying circumstances. We're very much looking forward to working with you and providing the best care and outcomes we possibly can for our students. We believe firmly that the relationship of trust between families, students and school really help ensure that they have a positive and successful time whilst here at Tambridge House School. I'm going to speak to you this evening a little about what we can do to support your child as they return to education. I would just like to take this opportunity to again reintroduce you to the Year 8 leadership team here at Tambridge House School. As you know, we have made some changes. I will continue as leader of year, as will Mrs Gala in her role as pastoral support. I am, however, delighted to introduce Miss Dighton as our Assistant Leader of Year and Mrs Mackay as our Senior Link. In the coming weeks and months, you may find the need to contact us here at Tambridge with any questions or queries that you may have. I'd like to remind you that in the first line of contact as a parent should always be with your student's tutor. Their contact details can be found on the school website via the Staff Contact Details tab. Mrs Gale is also available throughout the school day if any student feels like they need extra support or someone to talk to. If they need to see Mrs Gale, they should go to the student reception. Mrs Gale will then be contacted and meet the student at the designated meeting point in the Year 8 bubble of the school. We're also very pleased that this year the capacity for students to receive support from a counsellor has also increased, and students that need that extra support will be able to access it throughout the year. Despite the circumstances, we will certainly be focusing on the Year 8's journey to success. We're going to be asking them to dedicate themselves to their studies, especially with time lost last year, and embrace all things new as they begin to consider their GCSE options later next year. Some other factors which will help us build a positive and productive relationship this year have been shared with you on the screen to help the students help themselves. I'd like to really flag the one at the bottom which says control the controllables. Students who dedicate their time to being organised and prepared for their learning settle well, and it also develops their confidence to embrace change and cope with new ways of learning. As a school, we are very mindful this year of what our students have had to contend with over a very challenging period of time. Many of our students until Monday of last week had not been in school for some 5 months. With this in mind, we really have planned very carefully how together we can support the students achieve their goals. As a team, we feel confident that this can be a success. Please take a moment to read the points on the slide that you can do to help your child here at school. I'd like to draw particular attention to the point at the bottom. If at any time you have any cause for concern or worry, please feel free to contact your student's tutor. We absolutely believe in an effective partnership between us working together that can be successful. We can best support them in terms of their emotional and mental well-being that way. This is included amending our designated programme of PSHE for Year 8 in order to support them. PSHE at Tambridge is delivered through designated tutor slots twice a week and dedicated PSHE lessons on their timetable. You can see some of the topics they will cover this year up on the screen. We firmly believe that these sessions will help our students inform them and develop some skills in dealing with the way that they will be feeling at the moment, and to really promote ideas about mindfulness and wellness within them. Another regular activity which students will be asked to do in registration time is read. Currently for Year 8 this is done on a Wednesday afternoon, but students should be bringing in a reading book every day to school. We really do believe that as students grow in confidence with their reading, this will help them to extend their comprehension of both language and vocabulary, which in turn will help them develop their writing and thinking skills. We do believe that this will have a positive impact on their working life beyond Tambridge House School as well. We'd also like to encourage both you and the students to look at the home learning site on a regular basis, which, as you know, we will use to set up your child's homework. All students have their logins for this, and they should be able to access this already. It would be very useful over the next few weeks if you could support them with planning on how and when they can do their homework. As you know, the students have had plenty of practice at this, but getting back into a good routine of doing it is pivotal so that students don't fall behind or become overwhelmed. With your support, more independent students become more able to take the next step and use and plan their time effectively. Additional resources are also shared on areas such as the SharePoint Learning portal. Students again should be able to access this and should have their login details for it already. A few steps you can also effectively encourage your child to take in order to become more independent learners have been displayed on the screen for you now. These are to encourage them to read, to keep on top of deadlines, and how to manage and prioritise their work. It would also be really useful if you could encourage them to review and reflect on their classwork even when no formal homework is set. You might want to quiz them about what they have done that day, asking them to give you keywords using their knowledge organisers to test them and quiz them on topics that they have studied in all their subject areas. Here at Townbridge, we also like to help our students to develop a growth mindset and their resilience. We really want to develop that growth mindset so that they can have a can-do attitude. We deliver this ourselves through all our subject areas, including the language and vocabulary that we use to help improve motivation and in turn achievement. We'll also be running this year a parental workshop on resilience, and we'll share more details of that as the events for next year. On the screen are additional plans that we have outlined in order to help with students' resilience and their ability to bounce back. Finally, before I hand over to Ms Dighton, I would just like to say how happy we have been with the positive start the Year 8s have made to this academic year. They really have demonstrated our core values of care, kindness and achievement already. They have shown an outstanding level of understanding and maturity beyond their years, and I am confident that they will continue to grow and flourish throughout the year.
Good evening everyone, and thank you for taking the time to join us for Year 8 Information Evening. To introduce myself, my name is Miss Dighton and I'm the Assistant Leader of Year for Year 8. Should any pupils need to find me at break times during the school day, I'm either in the Year 8 bubble area or I can be found outside in the Year 8 break area. I'm really pleased to be a part of the Year 8 team here at Townbridge House, and I'd like to take this opportunity to talk to you about what Year 8 have been up to at the moment, what our expectations are regarding behaviour for learning, academic content, and having a positive mindset. It's been lovely to welcome back all of our now Year 8s, and at the start of last week they had some time with their tutors as well as a year group assembly where our expectations for the year were laid out. Similarly to last year, students have been issued with planners and timetables, and it's very important that they bring these to school with them every day. By now, students should be settling back into each of their subjects, and we've been really pleased with how they've conducted themselves. It's been a very positive start to the year. We continue to have very high expectations of students regarding their behaviour, and we do expect students to come to school and be ready to learn. By this, we mean that they have on the correct uniform and with them the correct equipment, that they arrive to school and to lessons on time, that they display a can-do and will try attitude, and that they display the excellent manners that we know them to have. Should you wish to refamiliarise yourself with our behaviour policy, this can be found on our website. Under the current circumstances, there have been a few updates to how we expect our students to behave. They are expected to wear a face covering during lesson changeover and at times where there are busy areas. We have continued and we do continue as a year team to re-establish our routines to allow our students to be ready to learn. Briefly touching upon academic content, please be assured that we are aware that there may be some gaps in some pupil knowledge due to events this year and home learning that occurred. Departments have addressed this and have adapted their curriculum to help catch up where appropriate. Moving forward to mindset, we're really keen for students to continue to have routines at school and at home also. They should be encouraged to take responsibility for their learning and for their homework. However, if students do find that they need additional help with their homework, they should be confident to email their subject tutor to request this. As we have done before, we continue to work with students to provide them with different ways to succeed. It's important to note we would like students to understand that our lessons are challenging and that this is to encourage their resilience and their problem-solving skills. To conclude, the Year 8 team and I are really pleased with the start that our Year 8s have made, and we will be continuing to build upon the routines so that our students are always ready to learn here at Tambridge House. As before, please do contact your child's tutor in the first instance if necessary. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you all for all of your ongoing support. Mr. Hunt and I are both available on our emails should you have any questions that you wish to ask us. Thank you.